I don't look at it that way.
Like I wanted to do this when Katrina was here, but since she's not here, we gotta, go on. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk about, and I wanted to know, because both you and Jean you still have a day job, don't you?
I do, yeah. I switched it. I was a
okay.
teacher for 21 years. So,
Right.
Yeah.
You was a teacher. So
Yeah.
I had talked to a fellow comedian, and we were talking about gigs, and I was saying, well, this being my only thing, stand up full time, I got to take the gigs with the money. And I said that, you're lucky that you have a full time job. Mm-hmm. And he got mad. And he spurted out that I'm still a comedian, that I have a job. And I was like, well, that's not what I'm saying. No. I mean, it's good to have something to fall back on, because comedy doesn't pay the fucking bills. Yeah. Now, some comedians, yes, when you're the big time comedians, or there are other comedians out there on the road that's making, pretty good, decent living. But majority of comedians are broke motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So and a lot of comedians have daytime jobs. Mm-hmm. And I said to him, but you're lucky you have a daytime job. And he took it as an insult. And the reason why, because a prominent comedian here in Philly told him, if you have a real job, you're not a real comedian.
Well, I guess I'm not a real comedian, and it's okay. But I got health insurance.
Yes.
I'm about to retire. Some things come first before. See, life is not always about laughs, okay? I can't go to, I would have never got married, on a comedy thing. Okay, I'm sorry.
Hold on. Hold your thought for a minute.
Somebody gonna try to sneak in the back damn door.
Now, you're here. We had a question.
I really sincerely apologize. I'm sorry.
No,
guys.
that's all right.
It
But
really
I'm gonna go into it again. I was telling Jean and Chica, Bianca, that
Blanca, you just whitened up that whole thing. It went from Puerto Rican to Jagger's son.
Sorry.
It's Blanca with an L.
Excuse me.
That's why I go by Chica.
Yeah. So I was telling them that I had a conversation with another comedian, and also this good for you because you also have a full-time job.
Yeah.
And I was telling him that it's good to have a full-time job doing this comedy, because not everybody's making a lot of money doing comedy, and you need something to help pay the bills. And he got upset with me because he thought I said or took it that I was saying that he was not a real comedian because he had a day job.
That's because somebody else. Go ahead. Explain that.
And the reason why, there's a local comedian here who has a lot of clout, a lot of juice here. I'm not going to say his name.
Don't say his name.
No, says that you're not a real comedian if you have a daytime job. And I don't agree with that. I mean, any way you can pay the bills, because it's tough out here just doing comedy. It's tough. You got
one night you're telling jokes, and another night
yes.
Is this where you link your OnlyFans, Gene?
Yeah,
okay.
No, I'm going to hold off on OnlyFans.
You got to be under the bridge in Kensington and shit, doing things you don't want to do just to pay the bills.
No, I think what it is this. You hear a lot of stories of comedians. Everybody have a sad sob story of how they made it. Nobody has said, just made it. I got 2 parents in home. I was growing up. We was never late on bill. I always ate on time, and I'm a star comedian. No one wants to hear that story. A lot of it's true, but nobody wants to hear that story. So I think to really say that you make it, you have to have this thing that you struggle. You know what I mean? I struggled to get here. That's everybody's story.
Right.
It don't have to be that way to get there. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's a 9 to 5 everywhere. Man, listen, I had to get me some fast food restaurant jobs just to eat. No, I'm just joking. No. I didn't have to do that. But
well, I just don't think you having a daytime job takes away from you being a stand-up comedian. I mean, like, again, you got to pay the bills, and like there are some out there making good money. And there's others out there it's a struggle out here. So I don't take it as I don't understand why he was insulted by that, but he was like, dude, I'm not saying you're not a comedian. If you up there on stage doing, now what it is, if you're on stage doing comedy, you are a comedian. It's just that some of them up there on stage suck. But that's a different story.
Ladies and gentlemen.